Oh, hey guys. Didn't see you there. You know, when I first saw videos of review YouTubers just talking in their bed instead of like the norm, I thought it was really lazy. But now that I'm trying it out for myself, I kind of want to do this for the rest of my life. So, it's that time of the year again. It's Zelda month. 5 years ago, and even before that, I was making almost exclusively Zelda content. And those videos are privated now because...
What's up, youngers? My name is Travis, and today...
4 years ago, I explained why Wind Waker is better than Ocarina of Time in the shittiest way possible while my balls were still dropping. 3 years ago, I explained why Breath of the Wild is overrated. 2 years ago, I made my least favorite video on this channel, explained why shootouts in Zelda are cool, and gave my top 10 Zelda games. Many spots on those lists have changed, by the way. And last year, I gave a hard, long look at why Wind Waker is my favorite Zelda game. And there's also some stuff in between, like the Majora's Mask video. So, what do I have planned for this year? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Alright, video's over. Go home. I know I normally make one big video for Zelda month, but honestly, I'm feeling so burnt out from the Super Metroid video right now, and I really hope that is out by now. If not, though, I'm honestly not surprised. So instead of doing a highly edited review with layers and shit, I'm just going to settle down, take a breather, relax, and talk about Twilight Princess for a little bit. Feel free to have this video tabbed while you play a game or do homework or some shit. But anyway, today I want to talk about why Twilight Princess is my comfort game and why I play it 80 times a year, even though I claim Wind Waker is my favorite. I haven't played Wind Waker since I needed footage for the video. Okay, I'm switching out the blankets because this one is really fucking hot. So, I guess I should start with my first experience playing this game. I got into video games around the age of 6, but before that, my brother was all about video games. Specifically the GameCube, and he collected GameCube games like they were Pokemon. He had all the popular ones, except Metroid Prime and Pikmin. And one of those games was Twilight Princess, and when I saw him playing the game, I thought it looked cool as shit. Which is funny because neither of us made it out of the tutorial area. We just wandered around Ordon Village, and I didn't even know what to do because I couldn't even read at the time. But when the disc got scratched to shit because me and my brother were really careless back then, it was kind of upsetting because I really liked playing through Ordon Village. Fast forward 2 years and I'm 6 years old and we have a Nintendo Wii at this point. And then I found out that Twilight Princess was also a Wii game, and now we have it. I didn't actually complete the game until I was like 10, but I made significant progress when I was 6. But anyways, that's how I discovered the wonders of Twilight Princess and even how I got into gaming as a whole. That and Ocarina of Time 3D. So, I have Zelda to thank for my love of video games. Funnily enough, after I beat the game for a second time, the Wii disc finally gave out and stopped working, and I was devastated. And my dad saw how I was and said if I got an A on an upcoming test, he would buy a new copy for me. And when we actually went to GameStop, the HD version had like just come out, and I ended up getting the pack with the version that had the Wolf Link amiibo. Needless to say, my mom was pissed at my dad that day. But anyway, yeah. That's how I first got into Twilight Princess and gaming. So, yeah. Thank you, Twilight Princess. I'm actually happier with my life than I once thought. And I probably wouldn't be living this life if I wasn't such a gamer, and I wouldn't be such a gamer if it weren't for this game. Anyway, back to why this game is my comfort game. Something that always draws me to this masterpiece of a game is its dark charm. Twilight Princess is on the darker side of Zelda games, both in tone and color, but despite all of that, it's incredibly silly. We're talking weird clown people who shoot you out of cannons kind of silly. You put all this silliness on top of a story of a kingdom being overthrown by these supernatural beings, and it's great. Like, 1 second Link is trying to save the Goron from their homeland from, like, a disaster that puts their entire species in danger, and the next second, he's sumo wrestling some dude shirtless, and next to Goron. I love this game so much. Another thing that makes this game charming is that the world just feels so alive. This was the first Zelda game where the Gorons weren't exclusive to the Goron area and the Zoras aren't exclusive to the Zora area, so on and so forth. And despite being a T for teen game, it's a mix of this game's serious aesthetic with these light-toned moments that only makes me think of this childlike air about Twilight Princess. It's absolutely amazing. It reminds me of a series like Soul Eater, where the main plot is dark and grisly, but tension is alleviated with silly moments in between the major arcs. I mean, in every dungeon where death is almost around every corner, you meet a weird human chicken thing and her flying baby head son, and they have teleportation powers. They also send you letters throughout the game, so we know they're capable of writing and they have talked with the postman. Her name is also the hexadecimal code for the green of Link's tunic in the first Zelda. Another game that makes this game so charming is the characters. I'm saving the Midna discussion for later because like she deserves her like own category. But I love like almost all of the characters in this game. Link is like an actual responsible working adult in this game, but you know, he still takes time out of his day to impress the local children. He's like the cool teacher at school. I also love that because of this, he isn't just some lazy bum who was put on a quest just because. Like, he's put on this journey from his own like self-motivations to like want to help save the children, as well as hold up his end of the deal he made with Midna. Also, his design in this game just goes hard as fuck. Zelda in this game is like an actual princess. Like, in all of the Zelda games where Zelda is an actual character, you never really feel like she's a princess, more like some kid who happens to just live in a nice house. I felt this even in Breath of the Wild. But here, we actually see Zelda do her best to protect this kingdom. Not in some Deus Ex Machina way like in Breath of the Wild either. She surrenders to the Twilight because she sees it as the outcome with the least casualties. She acts like an actual political figure like she should. And she doesn't just take this like a bitch. Even in her like little tower where she's confined, she comes up with plans to free her kingdom, which led to her meeting Midna and Link. And then there's the gang from Ordon. I love all of the kids from Ordon, and normally I hate children in video games. But here, they're just so playful and gullible, yet they try their best to act like Link, their personal hero. And then there's Mallow, who becomes like some business extraordinaire, which led to probably one of my favorite Zelda memes. And then there's Colin, who above everyone else wants to be like Link, and we get this amazing like mini arc of him learning that Link's power isn't his strength, it's his courage. There's Bo. You get to sumo wrestle him in his basement, and you get to see Link shirtless for the first time in gaming history, so I'm not complaining. And then there's jELeeoo. I love the idea of Link having this like childhood friend who gets along with him well. You know, like they fight, they disagree, but in the end, they're still there for each other. Maybe they're more than friends by the end of the game. We also get to see this group of freedom fighters fighting for Hyrule. And it's really cool to see that Link isn't like the only one fighting for Hyrule's freedom, and that like he's not alone. And they even come in with a clutch at the end of the game, which is pretty sick. They also act as like a great catalyst to learn more about this version of Hyrule. I mean, they're all just great. Link has canonically checked out one of their tits. And also, like, all the characters in this game are just, like, designed really coolly. Coolly? Is that a word? All the characters are designed really well. I'd say my favorite of, like, that specific bunch, like all the Freedom Fighters, is Shad. Probably because you spend the most time with him, but, I don't know. I just love the curious, like, researcher archetype. Especially when they're, like, not annoying. And that just leaves this game's MVP to talk about. Agatha. Agatha the Bug Princess is incredibly creepy, but she's just so damn cheery that I can't help but love her. Also, she's my main source of income in the game, so, yeah. And her theme is goated. All of the music in this game is, like, the strongest of any Zelda game. Like, all Zelda music is amazing, but, like, this game is, like, better than all of the other 3D Zelda games. I still think, like, Link's Awakening 2019 has the best soundtrack, but, still, like, this soundtrack is just goated. Anyway, I want to talk about this game's gameplay now, because I believe Twilight Princess has the best gameplay of any Zelda game, period. It's even better than Breath of the Wild's gameplay. The base combat is, like, exponentially made better thanks to the hidden sword skills, and it just makes the combat more varied than just spamming B, and things are way more situational, yet fast-paced and snappy. And all of the returning items have, like, some fun twist on them that, like, makes them more fun, like the Gale Boomerang. And the new ones are, like, just really fun to use. I really like the spinner and the ball and chain. Those are really fun. Horse combat was introduced, which is really fun, and then there's the werewolf shit. I feel like when I watch videos about this game that people don't really talk about Wolf Link enough, even though it's like the main gimmick, but I love Wolf Link. I think he adds simplistic yet fun gameplay for puzzle solving. And the best part is that you get to talk to funny animals while you're playing as them, so that's always a bonus. Believe it or not, I also like the Tears of Light segments. Yeah, they're a bit long on the GameCube and Wii versions, but I think they're amazing in Twilight Princess HD. They're fun, not too long, increase in difficulty as time goes on, and we get a pretty cool aesthetic in the Twilight realm. And believe it or not again, I like the music of the Twilight Realm. It's dope as fuck. Another gameplay aspect that's, like, really goated in this game is the puzzle quality. Aside from this game, I'd say Breath of the Wild's got some pretty tough puzzles, but they're all optional, so I'm not counting it. Why is the camera not focusing on me? Hello? The puzzles in Twilight Princess are actually kind of challenging. I don't know if I'm, like, really dumb or I have a really bad memory or both. Definitely both. But every playthrough of Twilight Princess I go through, I always get confused by the dungeon puzzles, especially Lakebed and City in the Sky. And if you can really stump me with a puzzle, then you did a great job. There's also the clever design of putting 2 heart pieces in each dungeon, meaning you get to use your brand new toy to experiment with, solve a puzzle, and get a neat reward for it, all before the boss. Another thing I absolutely love about this game is how it's anchored down by this heartwarming story. 90% of this game's plot revolves around Link and Midna, and I'm so glad that they are just such great characters. See, Zelda games do this fun thing called having a silent protagonist, but still giving him character. So, suck it, Persona. You can tell from Link's facial expression and body language that he's a responsible adult who deeply cares for other people, even random strangers. I'm pretty sure this is like the only Zelda game where Link is a working adult with daily responsibilities, and his personality reflects that pretty damn well. Funnily enough, the character I can draw the most comparisons to is not any of the other Links in Zelda games, but Thorfinn from Vinland Saga, of all people. Not anime Thorfinn, but manga Thorfinn, where he's an actual responsible adult who's just trying his best to be a good person. Sorry for the vague spoilers. As for Midna, do I really need to say anything here? She's the best character in all of the Zelda games, and the first cutscene you meet her is proof enough of why. To nobody's surprise, I think she's the best companion, character, and friend in the entire Zelda franchise. She's just so expressive and charismatic despite having a serious side where she can actually be scary. I love Midna, and I would love to see more of her in Zelda games. And the relationship she builds with Link in this game is pretty fucking amazing. To see Midna go from being indifferent to the plight of Hyrule and purely using people for her own gain to falling in love with Link and then exiling herself from him because it's for the greater good is both heartwarming and gut-wrenching at the same time. Another aspect of the story I love is the theme of courage. This can be seen in the catalyst for this game's plot being Link needing to be courageous enough to protect his people. This game's story does have this legendary plot, but at the end of the day, it's just sort of centered around Link being an upstanding guy. Another motif of courage is the village children acting brave in the face of danger in the form of the Twilight. Like that legendary scene of Colin saving Beth from King Bulblin and learning about true strength coming from courage. There's also the courageous freedom fighters who come in clutch near the end of the game. It's absolutely amazing. And the soundtrack also just backs all of these moments up too, like the song you're hearing now. This game is just so special to me that there are so many memorable moments that whenever I think about them, I just get this nostalgic air about it. Like when I first got Link's tunic, I spent so long just fucking around in Ordon because I never read the text boxes, and I finally got Link in his classic outfit, and it's the best design of that outfit as well. And then, it was just so cool. And then in that outfit, Link makes his triumphant entrance to the best Hyrule Field. But Hyrule Field was so big and bombastic that it made a triumphant entrance into my heart. That was probably one of the cheesiest things I've ever written in my entire life. And when it turns night and that soothing night theme plays, it's just one of the most atmospheric experiences in Zelda history happening before your eyes and ears. Something that was really cool for me was seeing the Zora armor for the first time. It's just such a dope design, especially when you're underwater and Link's got little mask on. Oh my god, and the shocking moment immediately after Lake Bed where Link turns around and Zant is just right there and immediately kicks both Link and Midna's shit in. I was genuinely caught off guard. And oh my god, and the moment after where Midna's lament is playing and you're desperately trying to save her. And at the end of it, we learned that Midna was just trying to make sure Link knew how to save Hyrule before she died. But she just happened to be on Zelda's good side, so she ended up living with a great, deeper value of life and Link. Twilight Princess also has great dungeons and bosses, Style Lord and basically all of City in the Sky. Those are amazing experiences that just make me giddy just thinking about them. There's Zant's grisly death, which left me wide-eyed. Oh my lord. There's the first time you enter Hyrule Castle, the dim, regal, yet empty halls with the organ cover of the castle theme from Link to the Past playing. Oh my god. And then the final fight, which is almost as dramatic and thematic as Wind Waker's final fight. But of all of the moments in this game, my favorite has probably got to be Colin sword training with Link on a bridge during the credits, and then they stroll on their way back home to Ordon Village. It was just so amazing. I'm feeling so nostalgic for this game right now, just remembering these moments in my living room on the Wii. There hasn't been a single year that has gone by where I haven't played through Twilight Princess to at least up to Lake Bed. I claim Wind Waker is my favorite Zelda game, but I always just end up playing Twilight Princess way more. And the reason I play this game all the damn time is mostly from nostalgia, but for the purpose of this YouTube video, the reason I play this game all the damn time is that it basically just appeals to my aesthetic. It's dark and gloomy, yet hilarious, and just so goofy. And also, the story and gameplay are absolutely great. This game has, like, the best gameplay of the series, again. And also, every time I play this game, I can't help but crack a smile whenever Midna's on screen just being herself. Actually, you know what? She's going up there on the list of, right next to Melia, of 2D anime women that I simp for on the internet. So, yeah, Twilight Princess is a good game, and I'm very biased. Okay, video's over. Like, subscribe, join my Discord. Okay, bye!